This is Retro Star, and we're here for yet another commentary. I hope everybody is enjoying all of these great classic games that I've been doing. I've done runs on. This one right here is by far one of my favorites. This is Russian Attack, also known as Green Beret. This is actually the NES version, the American version. Great game, love this game, grew up with this game. I actually enjoy this version. I love the arcade version, but this version here is the one that I really started with, and I definitely enjoy the music on this one better than I did the arcade. This is the one that got me started, and this is the one that I grew up with. The arcade one is too, but this is how I started out. Alright, now we're approaching the boss. The boss is pretty easy. Pretty easy. For the first boss. I think the bosses in this game are usually not tough, but we just got finished with the first stage. We're entering the second. Yeah, the bosses in this game is not tough, but the game itself is tough, especially if you're trying to no-death it. Just like Contra, it's a one-hit wonder. But tons and tons of fun to no-death, I tell you that. I no-death this game a couple times, and it's still the ultimate fun. I think the Green Beret NES version is a little bit harder, especially at the end. At the end, it's definitely harder than this version. But this version is my favorite. While stage 2 isn't all that bad, you know, you just gotta learn, like I said before, learn the game, learn the behaviors of the enemies, and you should be good. You should be amazingly good. I remember when those jumpers were a huge threat to me. Every time I saw one coming, I get nervous and end up getting hit by them. But I've absolutely learned how to take those guys down easily. It comes with just knowing the territory and just being confident. And once you're confident in what you're doing, it's smooth sailing. Now here we're approaching the stage 2 boss. I used to call these guys the Rocketeers. Basically, what you do is you try to stay out of the way of the, make sure you stay out of the way of those grenades, and you hit them usually with one stab, if you can position yourself and stab them. Pretty much what you need to do. 1, 2, 3, and just like that. So you're done with stage 2. All right, that's 2 stages down. You're going to third stage. Awesome soundtrack this game has. This game has an amazing soundtrack, especially with the star. I love that. I love the music. So it gets you pumped while you're running into everyone and having invisibility. Of course, it doesn't last long. But if it lasts too long, the game will be too damn easy. And it's amazing how those jumpers are like, how I'm absolutely running under them. And it's almost like, to me, that's better than stabbing them. I mean, if you're trying to do a point game, then yeah, you need to stab them to get the points. But if you seriously want to get through the game faster, and you want to get through the game with a little less stress, then it's best to just run under them. And make sure when you're running under them that they don't have any other enemies in the mix. Because then if you try to run under them with another enemy, you'll run right into another enemy. They got to be by themselves. And I absolutely learned how to flawlessly do it. Amazing. It makes it easier, as they used to be a huge threat to me when I first started playing this game. They were absolutely a huge threat. And when you get a whole bunch of them together, you could make a mistake. But now, looks like we're already approaching the third boss. Going through a whole line of those jumpers. And we're going to be taking out these huskies. The way they look like huskies to me. That's going to be coming at you. So that's basically all you're going to do on this, on here in this boss. Let's just take out some huskies or some dogs or whatever they're supposed to be. They sound like dogs because they're barking. And they come on both sides there, so you gotta stay on guard. Because if they run you over, it's an instant death. Alright. Now it's pretty simple. Like all the other bosses, we're approaching stage 4. I'm done to stage 4. With all lives still intact. For some reason, this has always been my pet peeve stage because of the grenades and all the shit that's coming at you. Grenades, the yellow guy, and the jumpers all at once. It's if you don't be careful, you can screw up bad. And you see those jumpers are coming from me from the back, so I definitely have to take them out before they get too far up on me, especially dealing with the grenade guy. Because, you know, the grenade guy gets me. Now one of those guys are gonna get me. If I don't get hit by the jumpers, I'll get hit by the grenade dudes. So you just gotta learn how to just make it easy on yourself and do what you have to do to stay alive. This is one of Konami's greatest games, I think. Awesome game. I absolutely mastered this game when I was a kid. I was pretty hardcore as a kid, man. This game was tough for a lot of people, but as a kid, I managed to get through it. And I loved it. On top of that, I loved the game. I rented it a few times because I loved it so much. Rush and attack. So you're basically, that's what you're doing, is you're rushing and attacking with your knife. Literally. You are an invisible being, being able to just rush in an enemy base, you know, and kill people with your knife, especially when there's people with guns and everything coming at you. You just got one knife and that's all you need to become one motherfucking killing machine. You see that right there? I should die right there, but I got lucky. My defense was seriously on God. I tell you that, it was on God. More jumpers. The yellow guys pose more of a threat because they could shoot you from a distance, and if you don't take them out, they'll take you out. Now we're approaching stage 4 boss. Take out that yellow guy because he can cause a lot of trouble for you, especially when you're trying to avoid those grenades from getting you. And there's 3 of these guys that are going to be, and plus a few enemies in the midst to try to cause confusion and overwhelming. Yeah, especially since your main objectives is to stay out of the way of those grenades and stab. And one stab should usually take them out if you get them down to the position that you can reach them. And just like that, they're out of there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty simple. Alright, that was stage 4. Now we're going to stage 5. Just so you know, the Green Beret arcade game is only 4 stages, so we pretty much already went past the arcade. Arcade is brutal. Arcade is harder. You know, the enemies go hard in there, but there's less stages to deal with. But they pretty much like balanced it off here to where you got less difficulty and more stages. So that's good. We got, you know, one more stage after this to deal with this madness before we could definitely see the ending of the game. Great game. I love this game. I definitely going to do a run of the Japanese version, the Green Beret. Green Beret is a little bit different from this. This has got elements in it that this one don't have. So I'm gonna I definitely going to do a run of that, and I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to do commentary on that all time. I try to do commentary on most of my games that I'm no death in, because that commentary makes everything more interesting. So now this board doesn't seem too bad, because I remember on the arcade version it was hell. It's pretty much hell on this stage, on the last stage there. You're just gonna get a lot of jumpers here too, and you have to be careful on this part because you got those landmines that can get you, and of course the shooter. So you got to exercise patience, and you got to exercise great caution. One or two things can get you. One or three things can get you: the jumper, landmine, or the shooter. So you got to seriously just proceed with caution, and you should be good. Get the make sure you get the grenade so it can help you open up a path for you to walk into without hitting a landmine. And maybe take out some minis in the mist. There's the shooter. As you can see, I exercise great caution when I proceed, so I make sure that I don't run into enemies, so I don't run into a surprise. And that's what you have to do. You have to know your environment, and you have to proceed with caution, because a lot of times the same things doesn't happen. There, as you can see, the jumpers are mounting up, and sometimes it's necessary to stab the jumpers too. Sometimes it's necessary to stab them if they're in the way and you cannot avoid them by running up underneath the jump. You have to take them out somehow, and that will be an instant death. And you know how that roll if you're doing a no death run. All you do is just run through all these jumpers, and you got some jumpers coming from behind you, so you have to stab. It wouldn't be safe to run under them because there was an enemy right underneath them. And as you can see how dangerous these guys are, all you have to do is just find a sweet spot and just take them out. And that's what I was saving my grenade for. And just exercise a pretty good, strict, solid strategies to get you through this game with no problem. Now we are going to final stage. We're going to stage 6. This is my favorite stage out of the whole game. Just listen to the soundtrack, listen to the music. The music's changing now, which is definitely amazing. It gets you pumped. Hey, you know what? You're getting ready to beat the game. So I love this. It's my favorite song out of the whole game. I love this game. I mean, I love this music. I love the game too. See how I'm just running through the motherfuckers like ain't nobody's business. And whenever you see a yellow guy, you gotta remember he's the most aggressive. You see him on the bottom, wait for him to go up the ladder. Don't let him catch you off guard, especially if there's a jumper in the mix. See what almost happened right there? Yeah, you gotta take those guys out as soon as you can. They pose a big threat. So just proceed with caution. Just make sure you don't get too cocky. Just make sure you be prepared for what's coming up ahead. And more jumpers. And as you can see, the guy coming upstairs, that's the gun guy. You have to get him. Now he's gonna got jumpers on both sides there. If I would let that gunner in there, he would have possibly killed me. 2 gunners right here. Make sure you get them first, because they'll get you if you don't get them. Watch your back, watch your front. If there's a jumper coming from behind you, turn around. Don't even try to run under them. Turn around and give them a stab. It's better to, if they're coming in the opposite direction that you're going, it's better to stab them than try to run under them. You can try that if you want, but to me it's just safer that way. Here comes a shooter. So you gotta make sure you get him. Remember, the running guys are not as aggressive. They'll run past you. They will never follow you. The yellow guys do follow you. Okay. The jumpers will try to jump kick you and they'll keep going ahead. So they're not a big threat once you get away. Once you get them past you. But they could be in the right position, they're a huge threat. Alright, so we're getting ready to get hit with a whole bunch of activities. So there's the lasers. Make sure when you're going underneath the lasers, keep going and don't stop. and then get rid of the jumper guys, and then you got the jumper guys and the enemies. Okay, this is the end boss. Basically what you do is you get the grenade launcher and you're launching grenades at the missile, and then repeat. Do the same thing you did before. Jump back, fire as fast as you can, and then be at the end to get the weapon so that you can finish the boss off. This is the only way you'll be able to beat it. Gotta remember, you only have a knife that you carry throughout the whole game, so you have to get a weapon to destroy the missile. So just keep doing that until it blows up. It's pretty easy, pretty smooth sailing. All right, there we go. Game over. Game over. Yeah, that was. I love the music, the sound when when you're doing the last boss too. That's amazing. I love this amazing music. I love it. All right, we're finished with this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary of Russian Attack for the NES. I will be doing a Green Beret Super Famicom version, and you'll get to see the Japanese version of this game. It's amazing. It's pretty amazing. A little bit more difficult. I've always thought this ending was cute. What I like about the NES version is actually has an ending and credits, versus the arcade that doesn't. Once you finish the arcade last boss, and the last boss on the arcade is even sorrier than this one. This boss, at least they made an effort for this boss to be a little bit challenging. But then you got a chance to see the credits at the end and a cute little outro. You know what I'm saying? It's better to have some kind of, I used to love when I beat the game to see the credits and see the ending, and that's my reward for beating the game. So it was kind of disappointing when I first beat the arcade version and there was no ending at the end. But just to say that you accomplished your mission and then it loops. That's sorry. I mean, don't do that. We want to see an ending after we go through all this shit playing these games. We want to see an ending. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys go and enjoy the rest of the ending. And this is Retro Star, and I will see you in another game. Good day, everyone. And keep it fucking retro.